got some spots to check out today. It's 10:40 right now. It's probably gonna take me close to 5-6 hours to really hit some of the spots that I want to hit. I haven't done any scouting hardly at all this year yet, so we've got a lot to do today. It is 11:40. It's been a little over an hour since I first started scouting, but anyways, the first little spot I went and scouted is no good. I saw some trails and pulled some tracks on the logging road on the way to it, but it's a lot more grown up than the last time I was in there. Anyways, I say all that to say I'm walking down this old logging road. It's not one you can get like a four-wheeler or anything down. You probably could if you tried hard enough, but it's these old logging roads that have not really been used by any equipment or anything for a really long time, that I really like to look for sign on. A lot of times you can tell a lot about an entire area just based on these old logging roads. As you can see, they've got all these little immature pine trees and cedar trees, and bucks really like to make rubs on those. So anyways, but I just found my first rub. If you guys can see right there, it's just a little tiny rub. It's still got some bark on it, but it's not wet. There's not really much to look at. It's not a big rub or anything, but this early in the year, small rubs don't always mean small bucks. Alright, you guys, so I walked all of maybe 30 yards from where I just took that last video and saw that first rub, and there's a pretty good rub right there. It's not giant, but I walked another 50 yards, 60 yards from where I saw that last rub. I saw another rub on a tree that was kind of laid down horizontal. Anyways, and I walked right past a couple of scrapes, and then I saw another one, and I turned around and noticed the two I had walked past. Anyways, so look, there's one right there. That one's been freshened up pretty recently, if not last night. There's one right there. That one's not a big one, but here's one right here. Man, that dirt's like almost powder, you know. And then this one right here. That is a big old scrape. The only problem is right here. It's not a great place to set up a stand. There's just no openings. I mean, if I was to come in here and hunt, I'd probably have to make like a little ground blind setup right off this little logging trail. Or there's a little water bar right here. I could probably clear some brush and sit behind it. But I don't know. I don't really know. I've got a camera in my bag, but I'm going to keep walking and see if I see any more or anything better. If I do, I'll set the camera up over that. If not, on my way back through, I'll set the camera up over here. Okay, so back out at another spot. I haven't even gotten back on any main roads. I just took the back road over here. It's a lot faster than going back up around and taking another loop back up through a main road and then back here, so I just took the back road. Anyways, I say back road, it's just like a four-wheeler trail basically. And if we're really honest, my car should not be going through that. My wife would kill me. Anyways, it made it though. Made it. Yeah, barely, but I made it. So I will say this: as terrible as that car is for off-roading, it is four-wheel drive, and if I wouldn't have had that four-wheel drive, I would have got stuck back there. I'll tell you that much. I had it in two, and I got up over this little hump that was really steep, and it basically picked my car up off the ground. Like, I mean, almost all four of my wheels came up off the ground at one time, scared the crap out of me. And then I started trying to climb the hill a little bit more, and I hit the gas, and my tires were just spinning, and I was like, freaking great. So I put it in 4 and got to where I was going. Anyways, we're gonna get up in here, and it's kind of like a little oak flat. It's got some mature acorn producing oaks on it. There wasn't a whole lot of acorns in here last year. I did have an opportunity to shoot a doe in here last year, but I didn't because I parked my car, I mean, half a mile to 3/4 of a mile away. But my car's literally parked right there. I mean, you guys saw me walking right away from it. So last year I was just being a little more conservative on where I took my car in. But just to be honest with you, it's 80 degrees today. I really don't want to walk 3/4 of a mile if I don't have to. In fact, it's hot enough. I got rid of my bow. I took my harness out of my backpack. I took my spray out of there. So all I have in this bag is water. I got like a knife, just some random stuff, and well, the only 2 things that are really worth their weight are water, and I've got some snacks, and then another trail camera, because I put one up at that last spot. Okay, so I found some acorns back there that were falling. They're not falling super consistent. There was maybe, I don't know, 10 or so of them on the ground I saw back there off under one tree, but I didn't see any feeding sign, and definitely didn't see any buck sign, not from this year at least. But I was going to show you guys this tree. It looks like lightning's hit it. See, it's wrapped all the way down. It's already dead. And actually that tree right there looks like it's been hit too. Right there, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's cool. You don't see that every day. Well, anyways, thought I'd show you guys that, but like I said, I'll keep y'all updated. There's tons and tons of mature oaks up here. Tons of them. I mean, there's probably 100 oaks up here that could produce acorns. Oh, there's another scrape right there. That one's a little fresher, but still not. I mean, it may have been hit since the other day, but it's, if I see 1 more or 2 more, you know, maybe, but it's hard to pinpoint them. It's just like there's an oak up here too. This one may be dropping. I mean, really all you need to find is 1 oak that's dropping good, you know. All it takes is 1 tree to drop acorns like crazy, and they'll go to it all the time. But I just haven't found that tree yet. I found some oaks producing, but not consistently. Ooh, this one's dropping pretty good. And me putting the camera up, getting a bunch of pictures of these deer at night, if I'm not going to be able to kill them. Look, there's another scrape. Man. I may be eating my words here pretty soon. Oh, muscadine on the ground. The second muscadine I found on the ground. I don't see any up in these bushes though. So they must be all dead, which is a shame because I enjoy a good muscadine after a long hike. But okay. Well, out here, I spot literally never been to the spot. I mean, it's right off the highway. You can hear people screaming over my shoulder. But there's some acorns dropping back there. Like I said, I've never been here. Don't know what this looks like, but there's acorns all through here. There's a bunch of them. I mean, look, bunches of them on the ground right here. There's oaks literally surrounding me. I mean, I don't figure this is the best spot to kill a big buck because it's, I mean, it could be, but it's literally right here. I mean, anybody, I mean, there's tracks in here. There's been people in here, you know, so whether they're hunting or just mudding's hard to say. But okay, so surprise, surprise, we have a ginormous open field right here. This was not on the map. There was an old food plot on the map, but it was, I mean, a 32nd of the size of this big old, I mean, it's not even a food plot, it's just got some wind indicators though. It's cool. Yeah, it's just a big open field. I haven't found anything worth much. I mean, I'm sure the deer are coming on this field, and honestly, in like, you know, late November, early December, you could probably come up here with a rifle, overlook this whole thing late in the evening, and probably shoot something. Oh yeah, there's a deer running right there. See her? Oh, there's two right there. Two does. Right there. Three of them. Looks like an adult doe and two yearlings. See them right there? Someone's walking towards me right now. Well, there's deer in here. That's nice to know. She's walking straight towards me. She don't give a crap. Look at that sucker. See how close she gets. She don't care. She may have a collar on her. I tell you what, if I had my bow on me, she may be getting shot. She's probably 40, 50 yards from me right there. She's about to get my wind blowing off my left shoulder. Look at that. Oh my gosh, yeah, if I had my bow, it'd be hard not to shoot her. Go on, girl, get out of here. Yeah, there she goes. There she goes. She didn't like me very much. Well, there's deer in here. She can stomp her foot at me, but if I stomp my foot at her, she loses it. That's cool. That's awesome. Glad I got some footage of that. They were sitting over here in this corner. I wonder if they weren't bedded in the shade over here. Trying to overlook this food plot. It'd be a good spot to bed. Alright. Well, we have moved on to a different spot. I have, as you can see, my lone wolf stand on my back. I haven't used this thing since year before last. I forgot how uncomfortable it was to try and tote these things in with these cheap straps they come with. It's pretty uncomfortable to say the least, and I got a pretty good walk, so I'm not really looking forward to that. My shoulders are gonna hurt bad. The great news is, if there's good sign where we go, we won't have to bring it back up. Okay, so I'm in this little draw. I'm trying to be quiet, but you can see this ground is torn up. Acorns are all over the place. I can hear them dropping as I'm walking in. So anyways, we're almost to the spot where all the sign is. Yeah, you can hear the acorns dropping as the wind blows. So I'm gonna get right up here, see if there's not any sign. If not, I may set this thing up anyways, because there's so many acorns in here. So anyways, okay, so I'm gonna keep walking here just a minute, but I'm at this spot last year that I had so much confidence in. I had so many good pictures of bucks in here. So many good pictures of bucks. And looking along this old logging trail, I've even been looking at some acorns. There's deer in here because there's feeding sign on those acorns. And there's a beat down trail in that saddle where the acorns are dropping the heaviest. But I have seen almost no buck sign. I've seen one or two tiny rubs. I mean, on trees as big around, or less big around my pinky. As far as right now, I carried that stand down here for pretty much no reason, and I'm gonna have to carry it back up to the other saddle and hope there's good sign on it. So it kind of sucks, but that's why we scout. We scout because we don't know if it's good or not. And if I'd have come in here one day and tried to hunt it, and then came down here and looked and saw that there was no sign, I would have been pretty upset that I hadn't come and scouted before. So that's why we scout. I'm gonna walk up a little ways and see if I can't see any more scrapes or anything, but it's not looking good. Not looking good. Okay. Well, needless to say, the last spot didn't work out. I did get, ooh, speak of the devil. I was just gonna say, I did find a couple Muscadines. Dude, look at that jackpot. Dude, that's worth every bit of the walking I've done today. It's the most Muscadines I've seen in a minute. I've not seen them on like a bush like this at all this year. In fact, they've been pretty few and far between. And these are like almost untouched. I wish I still had that plastic bag for my... Put them in this pocket and they'll probably be just fine. I'm getting a new backpack anyways because this one broke on me, so I'll put them in that pocket. Put you guys in this pocket. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Sweet. I was just gonna say, I had picked some muscadine up off the ground and eaten it, and I was just thinking to myself, man, I haven't hardly had any muscadines this year. I haven't been out scouting any, so I've not seen any. And really, when I have been out in the woods, they haven't been where they normally are. Just haven't seen very many of them. So, thank you, Jesus, man. That's one of the things that'll just brighten your day up. I mean, I just had a really hard time getting where I was getting. And turns out there's no buck sign down in there anyways. So, needless to say, I'm a little disappointed in that. I am not going to cry about it, but I'm pretty disappointed in it. But not to say there won't be bucks in there later this year, especially once the weather starts to cool down. They'll probably be in it. I mean, there's acorns. There's more acorns in there right now than I've ever seen. So I would be shocked if they didn't get down in there at some point this year, but it's just not right now. So anyways, this is a score. This is better than, I say better, almost as good as finding buck sign as finding a bush of muscadines. So me and my wife are gonna have some muscadines to snack on tonight and tomorrow. Well, she may not. I think I told you earlier, but she's got the stomach bug, so she's probably not gonna want to eat any of these. But man, I couldn't be happier about that. I'm probably gonna get a quarter of a gallon off this one little bush. We used to pick muscadines all the time when I was a kid. And I do mean all the time. Every muscadine season we'd go out with my granny and we'd pick them because she loved to make jelly. And muscadine jelly was some of our favorite. But she didn't just do muscadine. She'll do wild grape and all sorts of other. But anyways, we used to go pick them a lot when we were kids for that reason. And the last couple of years, she's been out looking, and the spots they used to grow when we were kids, they just really aren't growing there very well anymore. So we've not had a good harvest of them the last couple of years. Not to say, I mean, we're not going to this year either. One bush is not going to make a huge difference, but we may get a quarter to a half a gallon off of it, so that'll be cool. I'm going to be scratching pieces after this. It'll be worth it though. Sweet. I think there's some more back here. Oh yeah, there is. Okay, so I finally made it to this spot that this other saddle after this piece of public. And once again, I'm not seeing a whole lot of signs. Honestly, it's pretty shocking. With the amount of scrapes I found at the first spot I was at. I thought they'd be lighting the woods up by now. Tomorrow there's supposed to be a pretty big cold front come through. It's supposed to get down to 40, 45 or somewhere in there as a low. And then the high tomorrow is like 70 even. So it'll be by far the coldest day we've had so far this fall. I find it really hard to believe that here in the next 2 or 3 weeks that bucks won't start flooding in these spots. I mean, I've seen it happen. It's say by far the most disappointing part of this trip. I've got to carry that daggum stand all the way back up to the car. So it's 4:25 right now. It'll probably take me at least 45 minutes to get back up to the car. If I was going to guess, if not, maybe a little longer. Especially if I'm going to make one more pit stop. If I do make another pit stop, I'm going to leave my stand at the trailhead of it, so I don't have to carry it. But I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I walked dang near, if not over 15,000 steps today so far. At least that's what my watch was telling me earlier. And the brunt of it these last little bit has been the most walking, and I've been doing it with this daggone lone wolf stand on my back. And if y'all can't tell how big that is, I think that's the assault platform, so it's their bigger one. I mean, with all that stuff on my back, it's heavy. It's heavy. So I'm worn out. Let's start heading back. If nothing else, we found some good sign and we've eliminated some ground, so that's about it. If I don't find anything worth hunting tomorrow, we've got a north wind, and I was gonna come hunt here tomorrow with a north wind, but if there's no buck sign, I don't want to hunt it. So tomorrow with that north wind, I may sleep in and then do some like mid-morning scouting for some north wind areas and try and set up for the evening sit. At least that's what I'm thinking. I don't even know. Well, what do they say? If you love something, you do blood, sweat, and tears. Well, I've been sweating all freaking day. I mean, harder than I've sweated a minute. And I just pricked my thumb so bad with a daggone briar that it's bleeding like crazy, and it's on one of the nerves in the tip of your fingers. Man, it freaking hurts. I ain't crying yet, but I might by the time I get back to the car. I'm not looking forward to this uphill trek, so. Anyways. Honestly, if I was finding a bunch of good sign in here right now, and I had to come back in here tomorrow, I may die. It's probably a good thing I haven't found any good sign, because my legs are about ready to give up on me. As you can tell, I'm not picking them up high enough to get over the daggone branches on the ground. Okay, well, I got two things for you. A, found some more muscadines. And look, I made a handy dandy little muscadine holder out of my binocular case. My binoculars are just hanging down by the strap. Also, found somebody's old deer stand. You think them suckers like to climb high, eh? Man, that sucker's probably 6 or 7 feet off the ground. They ought to be careful. If they fall from there, they're gonna die. Suckers ought to be careful, I mean.